Calculating vibes.
Woo! Yeah, baby.
Hello to everyone, my name is Vibernedo and welcome back to another episode of Vibe Meter. Today we're talking about I just got home after watching it and I got my Fantastic Four cup. I didn't get the popcorn bucket because personally I'm not a big eater in theaters. I want to watch the movie and focus on the movie, and popcorn or anything really is too much crunchy in my opinion. I know I'm weird, I don't care, but this is it's empty. I just drank it. But yeah, Fantastic Four, fantastic movie. Oh, and if you're new here, usually how this goes is I kind of talk about the movie, the ups and downs, the positives and the negatives. I give honest thoughts about the movie, and then I give my official vibe meter, uh, which isn't really anything. It's just a ripoff of Moist Meter, although it's more like a vibe check after the movie. It's sort of a percent of how much I vibed with a movie after I walk out of the theater. And yeah, there will be some spoilers here, so be prepared. I'm gonna go in raw. I'm gonna go into deep. No, I'm gonna talk about it. Definitely gonna talk about it. So anyway, what better way to talk about Fantastic Four than to talk about the four members of the Fantastic Four? First of all, Petro Pascal as Reed Richards. I had my fair share of worries in the past. I made three things Fantastic Four needs to get right video in January, February, sort of the beginning of the year. And in that, I talked about how I wasn't really sold on Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, and how I felt he may not have been the best fit for the character. And now, having seen the movie, honestly, I think we as a society must stop underestimating Pedro Pascal's skills as an actor. And Reed Richards, who, yeah, he's the smartest man on the planet, but also being the smartest person on the planet, Pedro Pascal very well conveys this sense of, not just a smart character, but someone who is so smart that he kind of he feels the pressure of being the smartest. And yeah, Pedro Pascal played this character very well. But being the smartest person in the world, he still lacks a little bit of that emotional intelligence. And that's where Sue Storm comes in. Long before this movie came out, I had a really good intuition about Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. I even mentioned it in my three things it needs to get right video. And having seen the movie, I was right. She is the heart of this team. She has that very smart emotional intelligence. She is, people were kind of mad that she was gonna be the leader, but she's not the leader as in like on the battlefield. She's the leader, she's the emotional support, she's the mother of the team. Yeah, this team would not work without her, and yeah, I really like this Sue Storm. And then Sue's brother, Johnny Storm. I mean, again with Joseph Quinn, he had got a little bit of pushback on this role, let's just say. And I think Joseph Quinn's Johnny Storm, I think just as much as Chris Evans' Johnny Storm in the 2005 and 2007 Fantastic Four movie, is still a ladies' man. But I think here he's not as one-dimensional in this role, and I think he even a little bit outsmarted Reed in this movie. He learned the language of Shala Ball in this movie, and I think that was an excellent choice to kind of freshen his character and get it to be more complex. I mean, I think the biggest difference with Chris Evans and Joseph Quinn's Johnny is that Chris Evans was more of a playboy, And I think here Joseph Quinn's Johnny is more just admiring, just a ladies man. He's not a playboy. We didn't see him with a lot of ladies, but he's still that same character. He's fantasizing about women just as much as Chris Evans' Johnny Storm was, and I think that's a good change. And this way, he's not just a ladies' man. He has much more complexity to his character, and yeah, I like this change. And Joseph Quinn is again a fantastic addition, and yeah, I can't wait to see Johnny Storm interact with Spider-Man in the future. Marvel, make it happen, please. But hey, here's the thing. Ben Grimm, he's the shoulder to cry on, the very loyal friend, quite literally the rock of this family. And if you were worried about if they were gonna have the sort of brotherly pickering between Johnny and Ben from the 2005 2007 Fantastic Four movies, it's here as well with a little bit more sauce. I think they kind of did their own thing, but it's pretty much the same thing. And yeah, just a fantastic duo, these two. And then the latest addition to the family, Franklin Richards, which if you don't know who he is from the comics, and or if you are left with questions about him after this movie, he pretty much is the Omega level mutant, Omega times 10 level mutant. For example, in the comics, in the Secret Wars comics, he is the one who fixes the multiverse in at the end of that comic. And yeah, I can totally see that is exactly where we are going with the MCU's uh, Secret Wars. And yeah, like we saw at the end of this movie, Doctor Doom is coming to get him, which presumably means that Doctor Doom has some interests with Franklin Richards, which has been a crazy rumor that he wants Franklin to revive the Scarlet Witch, and presumably either with the Scarlet Witch or just with Franklin, Doctor Doom will create Battleworld. And yeah, there's a bright future for Franklin in this universe. So yeah, the Fantastic Four worked really well, but then we get to the Silver Surfer, which this time being the Charlotte Ball version and not the Norrin Rad version, which got a lot of heat online. People were simultaneously angry that it wasn't Norrin Rad, but also horny that it was Charlotte Ball. Kind of weird, but also here the Silver Surfer isn't a gender swap. This is a totally different character. Silver Surfer is much more like a job title than like the actual person. I think presumably the reason why Marvel went with this version of the Silver Surfer was, not just this rich history from Shala Ball, but also this being the first time Shala Ball is being portrayed on screen. And I think that was Marvel just wanting to do things a little bit different, because we all know the Norrin Rad version, so this also being a different universe to the 616, so presumably that also means that in the 616 reality there is the Silver Surfer there that is the Norrin Rad version, so we might see that in the future. We don't exactly know where Galactus and the Silver Surfer got sent at the end of this movie, so could be the 616 already, who knows. But yeah, Shala Ball is Silver Surfer here. A change from the other movies, but also not a woke gender swap like some people were already rallying the pitchforks for. I can't wait to see, since because at the time of this recording I have yet to see people like the Critical Drinker or Tyron Magnus reviewed this movie, and I want to turn it into a fun drinking game where every time they criticize this movie for being too woke or gay or full of DI or referring to it as the MCU, I'll take a sip. I guess I won't be critical of my drinking. That was horrible. Also, I saw the IGN review of this movie, and they criticized this movie for being too much of a superior movie. But anyway, from the Herald of Galactus to Galactus. Galactus was easily the best part about this movie, and Ralph Ines's voice. Here's a clip.
I was once little like you.
That's a voice that is just deserving of voicing the Devourer of Worlds. Galactus was truly insanely cool and majestic. I totally see the early reviews calling this movie sort of, and like the Galactus being sort of Lovecraftian, and I totally see what he was talking about, and yeah, Galactus was fantastic. And yeah, he's not dead yet. Like I said, we don't know exactly where he got sent after the end of this movie, so might be the 616. I don't know, but I'm hoping we see more of him, because we need Galactus to be in a battle world or whatever in the background or something. So putting this into the 5 meter, I'm giving, and say it with me, 96%. For example, I gave Thunderbolts a 95, and I think this was just a tad bit better than that. Even though I think Thunderbolts and their in-depth character-driven story was, maybe that was a tad bit better in Thunderbolts than here, but I'm still giving this a tad bit more because there was just a few things, at least for me, that I enjoyed just a tad bit more than with Thunderbolts. Just, for example, the look of this movie is breathtaking. It's amazing. The retrofuturistic world here is really cool and gorgeous. The CGI is great. I didn't see a bad CGI shot in this movie at all. And just like Superman, the visuals and deep cut comic book references make it so comic book goated. And yeah, let's be honest, the bar was set pretty low with the other Fantastic Four movies, but this is the best Fantastic Four movie. And yeah, also I was kind of weirdly nervous to see this movie, because there's nothing worse than going to see a movie that the early reviews are saying is good, because you pretty much have to be blown away by it for it to be really good. I think the future is cool, and this year alone I think Marvel has taken a very good step in the right direction. But is Marvel back? Well, my opinion is Marvel never left. It's like, or an analogy time. Imagine a scene from a movie where a character is pushed off the cliff or punched out of the building, and the other people are reacting like, oh my god, he died. But then the camera pans around and we see that the person is still holding on. That's what Marvel has been like in the last 5 years. But that's about it for my review of Fantastic Four First Steps. Go check out my Twitter, where I'm pretty active. For example, a few weeks ago I asked you guys if you want to see me make a video, sort of a pitch for how to continue the Jurassic World franchise. I have a kind of a theory. I have a pitch for an idea that could work to kind of revitalize the franchise in a way. So go go answer that on my Twitter link down below, or just go and leave a comment down below if you want to see my pitch for the next Jurassic World movie. Also, like and subscribe, and let me know what you thought about Fantastic Four First Steps. Did you love it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Or did you at least vibe with Fantastic Four? But yeah, that's about it for this video. See you in the next one, and thanks for watching.